Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes, on the 24th of February 2021. And I hope you're all well and doing good things. It's been a bit of an overcast day today. I was rather hoping the sun would come out, but it didn't. But it was mild. It's still mild weather down here in jolly old Worthing, where in the back room of a terraced house at the foot of the English Channel and the edge of the South Downs, this show comes to you. And it's very nice that you've tuned in on this midweek day on Wednesday, the Wednesday that the Wednesday after the day that Boris has given us a bit of a sort of, I don't know, a lifeline to freedom. Everybody wants a little bit of freedom. Hey, let me out of here. I want to get out. And it sounds good, doesn't it? Let's hope that it's a promise that is actually going to happen, that we can get out of here. Never mind all of that. The Vobe Show is here to keep you entertained and thrilled and spilled and all those usual things. And so, it's just me tonight. The lovely Julia is knocking back. She is sitting there going, phew, thank God I haven't got to do today. She's been busy with her family, running around after them, looking after them, so she tells me. And that's, just as it should be, really. Well, I don't mean it just as it should be. I mean, I'm sure they're all run round and look after her as well. Anyway, out there in the Vobosphere, we have a lovely bunch of coconuts. We also have some fantastic viewers, which is super duper duper. Thank you very much for tuning in. Andy Stacey was quick off the mark this evening to get into the old chat room. Yeah, let me in. Oh, I'm the only one. Yes, nice to see you, Andy. Thanks for coming in. Ernie Samet is also there. Mike Stevens, Bonnie is out there. And Station Master's Choice, the lovely Julia, has managed to arrive in between vegetable broth and all the rest of it. Well done. And who else have we got there? We have, there's a lot of chatter going on there. Kerry Baldwin, nice to see you. We have Easy Peasy Music. Hello to you, Easy Peasy Music. We had a lovely bit of Easy Peasy Music at the beginning of the show, which we tend to do, which is all good fun. Tall Podge Rog is out there. I think I said Station Master's Choice. Mark Donny McLeod. Hey, it's nice to see you up there in jolly old Lancashire. Roy Edwards. Hello, Roy. We have a bunch of others who are coming in through the door, thick and fast as we speak. And Anna Jones, Resputington of Artington. We have the lovely Judith, Jeffrey Harrison, Daniel Watkins, Kate Evans, John B, Sean Ford, amongst many others who are coming in. Glenn Horton, nice to see you. Who else down there? Ron Langley. Hello, Ron. Hope you're well. Steve Baker as well. Ed Lau. Good to see you, Ed. How is Greenwich at this time of year? Mike Stevens, I think I also said. David Vad, and so on and so forth. More and more people coming in. Brainwash Chris, Tracy Murphy, Kathy B. Oh, it's fantastic. There we are. The list goes on. Adam Roberts. Hello to you, Adam Roberts. And Jeff Sussex. And Alan Sandell. Lovely to see you. If, by the way, you're trying to get my attention in the chat room, now that we have quite a, large audience live as we do the shows, I believe if you put the @ sign, as you would on Twitter and other things, at the Vobe Show, it highlights on my screen, and my eye goes straight. As you know, I've only got the one eye. My eye goes straight to it. So sometimes, you're trying to send me a message, and some people repeat it several times, and I don't always see it. If you do the @ sign and the Vobe Show, I will see it a bit clearer. So that's all good. We will have, we've got videos. We have a video that we didn't show last time, and we have some new videos, of course. Andrew Norris has sent in another of Myra's singing, which is very lovely. Which we're going to get to. We also have some photos from Mark Burgess, and Pete, otherwise known as Colonel Cragratty, has got some stuff about Fort Fareham to have a look at, and some information as well. Now, before we go on any further, Sean Ford says, like this? Yes, just like that. There you go. It's highlighted in orange, so I can see it, which is rather nice. Julia M says, like this? Yes. I don't know whether you see it. Do you see it? You may not see it, but I see it, which is the main thing. And Bonnie has sent me millions of hearts. Thank you very much, Bonnie. I am touched. And Mike Stevens says you need a stepladder. I'm not quite sure what that's for. Somebody, and I don't know who this is, somebody, please, if it's one of you, let me know. Don't all go, I'm Spartacus. Don't all of you do this. Somebody sent me this. It's a book, The Pocket Book of Patriotism. Right? Now, this is a fantastic book because it is a timeline of Britain and the world. And it's a fantastic book. I have seen this before, but never had it. So this is absolutely amazing. It starts, and the thing is, it came in the post with a bookmark that just said, I think this might be of some help. But it didn't say from whom. And that is quite frustrating because you want to say, hey, thanks so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Oh, thank you so much. So very kind. Sean Ford says, we don't see the @Vobe show. Oh, okay, fair dues. It's only orange at Richard's End, if that makes sense. Yes, I like a nice orange end. And Station Master's Choice says, I'm not Spartacus. Marvellous. I'm Spartic. Eh? Yeah. So this gives you a timeline of all sorts of things. So here I thought we could have a bit of in between the show. We could have a bit of a test if anyone's good on dates on English history or British history, I should say. So that would be interesting to know. For example, can anyone tell me when the last great plague, without looking it up, if you look it up, you're only cheating yourself. If this is off the top of your head, tell me. The last great plague. Does anyone know the dates? When did it start and when did it finish? You must know that one, I'm sure. Audrey Forbes says, I'm curious, @Vobes show, do your neighbours know what goes on in your front and back room? We've recently got new neighbours on this side, ladies and gentlemen, and I should have warned them. Oh, here we go, look at that. 1665, says Judith, 1666, 1667. Any advance on that? 1660, 1990. 1666, the last great plague. 1660. So it is 1664 to 1665. It was just before the Great Fire of London. Now you know when the Great Fire of London was, presumably. That was 1666. Anybody know when Milton wrote Paradise Lost? Anybody know when he wrote that? That would be interesting to know. So there we go. 'Twas I, thanks for the thanks from the heart of your bottom, says Linda Kane. Hi all. 'Twas I. Was it you, Linda? Was it, you didn't, Linda, thank you so much. But there was no, oh, Richard, you might find this interesting. Linda. That's very kind of you, Linda. Thank you so much. Milton, yes, Milton. Not Milton Jones, the comic. I'm talking about Milton as in, I don't know what his first name was. It John Milton, who wrote Paradise Lost. We know. No, but I walked across John Milton's house the other day. Walked past it. Oh, did you? Where is John Milton's house? I don't really know that. Of man's first disobedience and the fruit of the forbidden tree, whose mortal taste brought death into the world, and all our woe with loss of Eden. Yeah, Milton, 200 years since Keats died. It wasn't me. I didn't kill him. You can't pin that on me. Milton Keynes. Is it up near Milton Keynes? Is that where Milton Keynes gets its name, by any chance? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Maybe it is. You see, I'm incredibly ignorant, but I'm happy to learn. More happy to learn now than when I was at school. It's funny that, isn't it? So there we go. What about... Does anyone know when the Battle of the Boyne took place? The Battle of the Boyne. King William defeats King James at the Battle of the Boyne. That was sometime in the 17th century, but I'll let you have a guess on that if you like. John Milton's cottage is it Chalfont St Giles in Buckinghamshire? Oh, how lovely. It's a very posh part of the world. I wish I lived in Chalfont St Giles, where the SSVC is very close to, anyway, where I did some Percy Peevely's World of Cartoons. Oh, oblige. Percy Peevely, his World of Hello. Oh, Mr. Todd's ringing me up. Yes, Mr. Todd? Oh, yes, Mr. Todd. Oh, no, of course, I'll get that done immediately, Mr. Todd. I'll tell you about that in one of the videos that coming up on the My Story thing, where my first TV solo TV show was at the SSVC, the Services Sound and Vision Corporation. And to be honest with you, it wasn't much different to being in my own room here with a remote camera and nobody about. But I did have to go to Chalfont St St Giles in Buckinghamshire from Worthing to do it. It was great. Davy Vad, Dave of Yore. You're quite right. 1690, the Battle of the Boyne. I wouldn't have known that, I have to say. Thank you, Linda. I wouldn't have known that at all. New mug, Richard, says Mark Burgess. This is actually a very old mug. This is a very old mug. I did this. Oh, I think somebody did this for me years ago when I had my Vobes show going. So it's about 2005, 2006. And it's a nice old, and it's got on there, look, Vobes TV, Vobes.com, hey? And I've had it, and I'm so worried that I will break it, because it's a little memento of the Vobes show in the early days when it was a podcast from a beach hut in Worthing. Back in those days. Tim Williams says, do you still have parking problems with your neighbour? That's a good question, Tim. Actually, since I've had the van, people have been very respectful. And they've given me, quite a bit of... Well, you don't know until I tell you. They've given me space, which has been really handy. So, yeah, no, that was a good question. Not yet. But I can tell you, if the woman who does normally parks in my space, she will find it very difficult to get out, because there'll be a dirty great van blocking her. And it actually won't be dirty. It will be clean. Because I clean my van once a week, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Henry's Adventure says, you can visit Milton's cottage, but it is quite dear to get in. Although, interestingly, once you've seen it, it's not the sort of place you think you must go and visit again in a hurry. Ah, that's a shame. That's probably why it's expensive to get in, because they know you're not going to come back. So they're going to get, all the potential money that they can get out of you. Hand-painted mug, says Joe. No, it wasn't hand-painted. It wasn't hand-painted. It was... this was made by the Neolithics, actually. When I first started doing these shows back in... it was around 3,500 BC, to be honest with you, just after the Beaker people had come over, and they said, oh, yeah, what are you doing scrabbling about in the sand down there on the beach? And I said, oh, I'm trying out a new thing. It's called podcasting, and one day I'll do Vobecasting. They said, oh, that's interesting. Most people do fish casting. And that's but I said, what have you got there? They said, oh, well, these are new beakers that we're bringing in to the country. I said, oh, could I have one? They said, yes, hang on a minute. I'll do a likeness of you. And 3,500 BC, they say something different now for BC, don't they? There's a modern, like before present or something. There's a modern, I can't keep up with this. BC, it does it for me. Anyway, somebody etched my face on there, and it did take a while before the internet was actually invented, before we could actually get it going. But I did say to them, look, if you can't cope with no internet, we'll try a couple of baked bean cans and some tins. And they said, yeah, no, what a great idea. But we don't have baked bean cans, whatever they are. We do have these beakers. So we got some string, because they did have some string. They had a lot of hemp in those days. Oh, they were smoking it like nobody's business. And we got a couple of these, well, they effectively were plant pots, really. And I used to do the show across to them. They would be in their little roundhouse, and I'd be in mine, and I would shout into this thing. And they did tell me later on, they didn't actually have to put this to their ear. They could just hear me from across the way. So, it was early days. It was the early days. Common era, says Bonnie. Yes, before the common era. Oh, the common era. That's the thing. The common era. What is that common era? That's like, what does that mean? It's sort of one of those things that doesn't really actually say anything. Before Christ, we can all go, oh yeah, Christ was born approximately year zero, wasn't he? Or thereabouts. I mean, I think some people say he was born on the third year in now, which is a bit daft if you're going to say the birth of Christ is zero. But then some people go, oh, no. He was born on the third year in. Oh, was he? Well, let's just shunt everything back then by 3 years, whenever it was. I wish I could say, like people's comments, says Bonnie, before cabbage. Before cabbage. Yeah. You need to start selling some of those mugs as merchandise, says John B. Well, unfortunately, I could get some more made up, actually. I do need to get some mugs made up for the Vobes show so that we can all have a nice coffee with the Vobes mug on the Vobes mug, which would be quite good for some. Common era, BCE, before Common Era. So what does common era doesn't sound terribly precise, does it? It's a very vague thing, isn't it? Train, bus or walk. Oh, okay. My most unusual mug is London themed, says the Station Master's Choice. The handle is a telephone box. Well, that is a good idea, isn't it? I still dream of driving, but my car went 2 years ago, says Bonnie. Ah, that's a shame. And Ed Loud, who has used the @Vobes show, I know it's a bit of a mouthful to type out, he says, I think people see a van as a work-related thing rather than a car, which they perceive as a luxury, all subconscious. They give you more space. Yes, quite right. Well, they probably are aware that I've got one eye and they don't want a dirty great van getting too close to them trying to park if they value their own cars. So that's probably a little bit more like it. Neolithographic, says Dave of York. Yeah, very much neolithographic. Before COVID, of course, is another good starting point that you could say. And we did have a laugh before COVID, did we not? And Connor's Review Corner. Oh, it's no longer dark. He's found a light bulb. Good for you. Is this whole PC culture not allowed to use words as people get hurt? Is that what it is? I don't understand. What's not PC about before Christ? We used to have 10 months per year when BCE began, says Sean. What do you mean we had 10 months per year? Have we gone metric? Have we gone metric with the years now? Is that how it works? Is that part of the EU? Good job we got out of it, if you ask me. Brian Cant, the legend. Ah, yes, before Brian Cant. They were the days. You remember Brian Cant, don't you, in Chigley? Was it Chigley? Trumpton. What was the other one he did? Plew Blue, Pew, Barley McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble, and Play Away. Is it the round window, the square window, the oblong window, the triangular window, the quadraphonic window, the window that burglar has just climbed in, or the arch window? Is it the arch enemy window in which those winged serpents are coming in with bolts of fire from their crossbows? Who knows? Who cares? What am I talking about? Not the whole world is in 2020, says Bonnie. What do you mean, not the whole world? We're in 2021, aren't we? We're in 2021, aren't we? Isn't Christmas Day meant to be in August, says Sean. Don't confuse me. I'm struggling now. I see a fluella, it's a difficult word to say when you can't speak it, in Tesco's on a weekly basis. Yes, luckily I didn't watch Play School when fluella once flew over the cuckoo's nest. No, I read that as AC/DC, which is AC/DC, wasn't that a band? Mark Burgess says, try Dumpton on YouTube. It's a right laugh. Dumpton. Not heard of that. Brexit catastrophe, says Brainwash Chris. And Jeffrey Harrison says, Vobes, you've got me into trouble today. Haven't laughed so loud for ages. Been watching you decorating your house on the plank. Oh, yes. On the stairs. Yes, that was a moment of... I was forced forced out onto the plank, quivering like a baby. You give it a go. It's not so easy. And Steve Baker says, I thought BC meant before Concorde being born in the 60s. Before Concorde? Oh, yes, back in the 60s. Well, there we are. And Attenberg Eagles, hello Attenberg Eagles. Richard, meant to mention this a while ago, but have you ever seen a picture of Clara Schumann, 19th classical pianist and wife of Robert Schumann? She looks just like the lovely Julia. Oh, I haven't actually. So let's have a look, see if we can see a picture of her. Copy that. Hang on. Now, this better not be offensive because I'm... Oh, yeah. Let's get a picture up here. It does a bit. Here, I'll have a look. There we are, look. Could be the lovely Julia. If that was purple hair. Clara Schumann. As in the Schumann, the what's her name? You know, the author, the bloke who played the piano a lot. Yeah, there we go. Could well be reincarnated. And Julia is, of course, very musical. So, you know, hopefully she has not taken offence on that. Listen, we better play some stuff and look at some stuff. First of all, we're going to go. We are going to go into the art gallery to start with, just for a change. And in the art gallery, lovely bit of music that, by the way. Thank you very much to young fella my lad Andrew Norris. Mark Burgess sent in some pictures the other day, and I meant to show them. He says, because you like snowdrops, and I do like snowdrops, he's taken some pictures for us. And at that time, I hadn't been able to see very many snowdrops when I'd been out gallivanting. I have seen some more since. And I do like them. And I have got a packet of snowdrops that I forget now who sent me them. The very lovely snowdrop. Anne, wasn't it? Anne, somebody sent me them. And, oh, look, and a daffodil, an early daffodil, which is lovely to see. So thank you very much, Mark, for sending in those pictures. We don't need to... Do we need to play that a second time? Yeah, so I've got these. So these are... I don't know when to put them in. That's the trouble. I've got to stick these in the ground. Now, I went to have a look at my garden. I don't want anyone else looking at my garden because my garden is only about 6 foot by 3 foot and it's not very big. But Andrew Norris last year sent over some wild flowers from Croatia, which I sewed into a nice jacket with sequins. No, I sewed them on the garden. So I'm hoping that very soon we'll start to see some of these wild flowers coming up. And I hope they won't be angry. I hope they're not that kind of wild, you know, like livid, like the old thing. So that's all good. Let me see. There was another email, hang on a minute, from Mark. There was another email, and he sent me a couple of other pictures, and I'm not quite sure what this one is about. Mark, if you're there, maybe you could explain it to me. Dr. Sin's bin. A lot of spooky things going on there. It looks like a good thing for Halloween, for sure. And the other one is this, which is is that a Martello Tower hidden at the back of these houses that you've sent in? I wasn't 100% sure what the reference is, so I hope you will forgive me. But that will be grand. So, yeah, do explain that. So whilst all that's going on, we will go and take some phone calls. But I did promise Sean, whose video that we didn't get to see on Monday, that we would play it in today. So let's go into the video box and have a look and see what Sean, on his discovery walks, where he's off to. Now, that's interesting. We have a nice darkened screen, ladies and gentlemen. Darkened screen, because the Vobes Vault didn't do that. I have no idea why. And also, not only that, the camera seems to have been switched off in the video vault. Eric, I blame you. It's all Eric's fault.
It's not me, sir.
I think it is.
No, sir. No, sir.
By the way, before we get into Sean's video, I'm connecting back with a dear old friend of mine called Phil Clark, who ran a podcast. I think he still runs it, called the Britain Yankee Podcast. He is originally from Britain, not too far away from where this house is actually set. Funnily enough, I say that like it's an old, television series, which it is in a way. My life is a bit of an old TV series. Anyway, the point is, he's been working now. He's now retired, and he got in touch with me the other day, and he said, "Hey, Richard, I'd love to get in touch." He was responsible for many of the old jingles and buffers that we used to use in the podcast days. We do a whole thing about it, but I'm very much looking forward to having a 2 present a day with him and me, probably on a Wednesday. So it might be next Wednesday when we do that. It'd be very interesting, just to warn you about that. Right now, what happened here? I was in the video. Let's see where Sean has got to.
Today folks, I'm off to see a new path that I haven't been to before along Coombe Valley Countryside Park, and this bridge here, actually, if you watch Discovery Walk 3, I think it is, 2, the one where I mentioned the railway line coming along the old Bexwell railway line. That's the bridge, and then right up there is where it gets to Sidley. So this is where I'm going. I am here, you are here. I'm going up through here, and there's a new park. Oh no, where is it? Oh, I'll find it. Let's keep going. So, I can go left, byway to Bexhill, right where I normally head to Crowhurst, or head back to Bexhill, where I'm going to go that way. This is where I was the other day, my new path that I found my new path. And it's not so misty now. About 30 crows over there. To follow me around. And the bridge is just over there, the new path. We'll carry on with that. It's a dead end, this path. I'll show you a map in a second. So I'll just get there and then come back, but it's, it's still a lovely trip. So that's your valley then, Coombe Valley, where the road comes along and where the railway line used to be, and then eventually runs up adjacent to it and then connects where I was showing you that bridge. So there's a new path somewhere here, but it's gone to the left. I thought it was going to go straight up. But there we go. We must follow the path. So, up the hill now, valley's far away. The farm where I was a moment ago, just over there, and this is all new. Just behind me is a building that I've seen for many years over the other side of the reservoir. So it's good to be here and know exactly where I am, as well as recognising the building. So it might be coming to a dead end up here, but we'll find out, because the horses came down here a moment ago. So I just passed through like a little mini village and a farm, and there's the reservoir where I sat the other week. There's someone trying to shoot me, and I've walked across here many times, and there is me getting to Crowhurst. So it's quite a trek, but from here, we're scoping across about a mile. So I'm just going to carry on up the path and see what's around the bend. Somebody's been busy in the wood yard with some sculptures. You can see the daffodils coming out now. Well, there we are. It's not a dead end, actually. It comes out at Crowhurst. I don't know exactly where I am. Down there is the plough-in. I've been a few times on my little treks across the fields. So I'll just head back up then. Because if I go either way up here, it'll take me a couple of hours to get back. Can't have that, so let's head on back.
And there we go. How about that? That's lovely. Lovely. Love those sculptures, by the way. And I have to say, Sean, you managed to avoid being shot. Not a flinch. Not a flinch. I would have been on the floor. I can tell you. I would have been underneath that hedge, crawling around, looking for, I don't know, one of those water things that they feed the cattle in. You know, those metal things to climb in and just get a reed of grass and use that as a snorkel and just be underwater until the coast was clear. That's obviously what I would have done. Thank you so much for sending in the video. Fantastic to see the location there. All great stuff. And Sean has said to me, he says, oh, I'm going to do a few more of these, which is brilliant. Very much look forward to that. It's nice to see that part of the country because I don't know that very well. And I am hoping that once this COVID issue is all over and done with and we're out to get out further afield, that I can get over into East Sussex more, because East Sussex is an area that I have ignored quite a lot of. But now I've got my van, one can get over there a little easier and maybe do 2 videos a day and make the journey worthwhile. So that's all good stuff. Now, I'm going to put the phones on in a second, but I want to tell you about a book that has been sent to me. Another book, not just the pocket book of patriotism. By the way, we'll do a quick test here, see if anyone's got any idea of when did William Gladstone, the Prime Minister of the Liberal Party, come to power? For what duration? William Gladstone, off the top of your head, any idea? Any idea? We should know all these dates. They should be in there, you know, proud of our country and all of that. Be interested to know. I got this, Vectus Voices, about, this is... well, this is from Gus Johnson, who got in touch and he said, Richard, I'd like to, I know you've been to the Isle of Wight, and I would like to send you a book that I've published. And it's got stories and poems and various, you know, prose, and features and interesting things that sort of bring the Isle of Wight to life. It says on the back here, at bedtime at his grandmother's, he would steal down to an old wooden trunk at the foot of the bed. From within, he would take several old shoe boxes, each filled with garishly coloured postcards, letters and old curling photographs. Nurtured by their fading sepia and yellowing envelopes, pungent with age, spilling with mystery, a seed of memory would be planted. His life's journey into imagination, colour and poetry began. A journey of words and voices. Voices that he would hear repeatedly through the rest of his life. These are the Vectus Voices. And Gus Johnson is one of the Isle of Wight's most sensitive and descriptive storytellers, apparently. The Vectus Voices is a must-read for islanders and everyone who appreciates the poetry and prose, and the book that you will return to time after time. So he's very kindly sent that to me, and one would have to find some interesting things to read in the book. We got some good guesses here for, what was his name? Gladstone. Yes, he was very glad. 1880 to 1885 is where it was. How well did you do in that little bit of history? This is a poem. I'll have a go. I'm not very good at poetry, but I'll try it. This is just one at random. In case you're interested in purchasing a copy, available from all good bookshops, of course. Amber Beads, it's called. I need a bit of reverb here for a poem, I feel. Not too much, but just enough. There we are. It's probably about right. This is all guesswork, you know. No matter... Monday morning melting away, the swan, early jackdaw, crack of day, pocket, deep sting, the ring jingle of being stony broke, like the red straps on my shoes. I had nothing to lose but the words as they drift from one dream to the next. Perplexed and broken, my words surround me, scattered to the everywhere. Amber beads, amber beads. I probably shouldn't have just taken that quite randomly. I'm good with poems that rhyme. The ones that don't rhyme, I can't get the... as I said, I'm not very good with poems, but there's plenty of them, and then there's lovely little stories. So, anyway, if anyone's interested, it came to me free of charge, and it looks like an interesting book to read. I haven't had a chance to read it because I'm trying to read so many others at the moment. Let's turn the reverb off, shall we? The phone call. Let's put the phone line on in case anybody wants to give us a tinkle winkle on 0793 4746 we're going to hear a little bit of Mara singing shortly. We've also got another promenade by Bernie, and we're going to climb up a mountain. Climb every mountain. Who sang that? Somebody sang it. It wasn't me. Climb every mountain with Pete, obviously Colonel Cragratty is what we're going to do. He waved at the Camry. Henry's Adventure says he waved at the Camry bathroom studio. What are you talking about? Have I missed something here? Station Master, I don't know his date, but bags would never be the same. Oh, yes, the old Gladstone bag. Is the Gladstone bag the old doctor's bag, if I got that right? You know, the Scottish doctor. I take the high road and you take the low one. Is that the Scottish... Who was that in those... not the... There's been a murder. Not Taggart. What was the doctor... Not Dr. Livingston... the one up in Scotland, what was his name? You know, famous doctor. You know who I'm talking about. I can't remember his name. We'll do one more test whilst we're waiting someone to pick up the phone and give us a tinkle on 0793474679. Anybody know when Van Gogh painted the sunflowers? When did Van Gogh paint the sunflowers? Sort of, you know, the thing that you would have in conversation. You could be talking to a friend going, oh, yes, you know, it was such and such and such and such when Van Gogh painted the sunflowers. That was the day I did the marigolds on the front of my house, actually. I've got a feeling that he may have taken inspiration from me. We do have a phone call, ladies and gentlemen. No idea who it is. Hang on. I'm waiting for this. What is going on? Hang on. There we are. Sorry, my phone went into Octave Drive. I'm not quite sure what Octave Drive is. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello. I take it wasn't in vibrate mode then?
No, it was on loud mode, but something came up on the screen and I couldn't get to the... You know, you can't get to the answer, but the green button where you press that to answer a phone. Something else came up and was going, go away, I'm trying to answer it. Anyway, who's that?
It's Steve Baker.
Steve Baker, how are you, sir?
I'm living the dream. Living the dream as usual.
You live in the dream every day, living the dream.
I'm escaping on the 12th of April.
Are you? Where are you escaping to?
We're reopening the shops.
Oh, are you? Oh, fantastic. That is good news.
Yeah.
On the 12th of April, hang on, that's still quite some... I'm just working that out. We're still in February. March, April. Still, what is that? Not quite 8 weeks, is it? Under 8 weeks?
No. It's about 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good luck with that.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it. We're already planning, so that's the main thing.
What have you got? Are you doing anything special as a big reopening?
We were talking about that today, actually.
Oh,
we were talking about that today. Yeah.
What kind of thing? You know, without spilling the beans, obviously, is there a theme that you might be following?
We might have some bargain bags in the shops.
Bargain?
We might have some bargain bags.
Oh, bargain. Sorry, I was thinking barking bags. I thought, who's going to want some bark? We got round
it's not a pet shop. If you remember, it's a sweet shop.
It's a sweet. No, I was thinking, are you going to have somebody dressed up as what's his name? Oh, what's it? Bertie Bassey is what was
Bertie Bassett.
Yeah. Handing out a free tray.
You're just round the corner. So is that an offer?
What, to dress up as Bertie Bassey?
Yeah.
On the 21st of August.
12th of April.
12th of April. Oh, yeah, 21st of August. I don't know why I just picked a date at random. Well, I must come. I must come on your opening day.
Well, you're always welcome. You know that.
That would be good, wouldn't it? And then we can say this is finally... as long as I haven't got to wear a mask, because I can't wear a mask on camera. I mean,
Well, if you've got a Bertie Bassett head on, you won't need a mask.
oh, that's true. It'll be mask enough, won't it? Yeah, but I'm not coming as Bertie Bassey, thank you very much. I could stand outside the shop and talk about the lovely sweets that you've allowed me to test.
Yes.
That would
Well, you can come and taste. You can come and taste them.
come and taste them. Yeah, exactly.
Climb every mountain.
Yes. Is that Sion de Leon, whatever her name is?
No, it's a friend. It's a friend from my family.
Is
It's
it?
Julie Andrews.
Julie who?
Julie Andrews.
Is it Juliet? What, Climb Every Mountain?
Mm. She sang it in one of her films.
Oh, did she? What, not the oh, not the Bed Knobs and Broomsticks one.
The Hills Are Alive.
The
well,
Hills
she was
Are
in that
Alive.
as well. I think. I think she was. But yeah,
she was
The
in
Hills Are
Bed,
Alive.
wasn't she? Was she in Bed Knobs?
Yeah, I believe so.
She did a lot of that. I mean, they were great. You know, the what was the chimney sweet one? Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim shibru.
Yeah, I'm
Mary
not even going to
Poppins.
attempt it because you'd be frightened off all your viewers.
Oh, go on. Just give us one verse.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo.
I put a bit of reverb on it for you, so it sounded like you were actually in a chimney.
Was it?
Yeah, you wouldn't have heard it, but on the playback you'll hear it. They'll love it. They will love it. The ribbon whilst dressed as Bertie Bassey. Oh yes, cutting the ribbon, says John B. as Bertie. But I haven't got a Bertie Bassey. I can't even say it now.
Listen, you're so famous. I don't need you to dress up as a dog. You can just come, and the people of Worthing will know.
No, they won't. Okay, who's that bald git? Who's that old miserable bald git holding a camera? What's he on about? YouTube? He can't be on YouTube. He's too old to be on YouTube. They're all young people, aren't they? Apparently, but it's not true.
Apparently, but no, it's not true.
Because most of these young people who started when YouTube got going are all pretty old now themselves.
Yeah, I should imagine so, because
And-
YouTube's been going for a few years.
And
isn't it?
burnt out, no doubt.
Yeah.
Because every now and again I keep hearing, the YouTube people, they burnt themselves out doing shows every day and all of this. And I thought, yeah, I know what that's like.
Well, I do think, to be fair, I mean, I've been following you for a while, and I do think you work quite hard.
Thank
And
you.
Looking at the number of shows that you're putting out and the podcasts and everything else that you're doing,
Yes.
I take my hat off to you, to be fair.
What kind of hat?
Well, it wouldn't be a Bertie Bassett hat because he doesn't wear a hat. It'd probably be a top hat.
A top hat. Oh, that's nice.
Top hat.
A top hat. Do you know, I was actually thinking, this is quite genuine. I was thinking I should get a hat that is an unusual hat that is striking, but at the same time is not too unusual to be wandering around with a hat on. I mean, I know here we are about to go into the summer now. Well, I say that, but near to.
Okay.
But but some people wear these beanies, or inside and outside, and I just think they look silly when you're wearing a beanie on the inside, because surely you've got heating of some description, especially in the summer. I can understand I've worn a beanie hat when it's really cold, and I've put my fur lined coat on when I get into bed just to keep warm. But I was thinking some striking hat, but it's got to go with the old tweed jacket, and I don't want to wear a flat cap.
I've got an idea, because my better half bought me a hat for Christmas 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and it's a Peaky Blinders hat, because Peaky Blinders was all the rage then.
Is that like a flat cap?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, you see, I'm not good with the flat caps. They make me look
What
like...
do they call a Peaky Blinders hat?
I don't know what they call it. Does anybody... Maybe somebody
No,
else...
Emma came in and I was asking her because she bought it.
Oh, Emma!
But they had razor blades
Emma!
stitched into the front.
Emma! Can she hear me?
Emma, what are
No,
they
she
called?
can't hear you. She's gone now.
That's bloody typical, isn't it? Steve Baker. I don't know. Well, very much looking forward to the sweet shop being open. Don't let Julia anywhere near it, because she is trying to give up sugar, and I know it's a big old hard task. I gave up sugar.
Well, we got sugar free.
You got sugar free.
Yeah.
Robert Brailsford sent me some sugar-free sweeties just last year. I don't know if Robert Brailsford is out there tonight, but he sent some these sugar-free sweeties, which I took with us on the canal trip that we did last year. And we did manage to get through them. I don't know whatever happened to them. I don't think we ate every one. But they were actually quite nice, some of these sugar-free. But what do they have instead of sugar?
Well, they I guess that some of them have artificial sweeteners in there, but
Yeah.
some of them it's very natural products,
It's just naturally sweet
and
because
it's just naturally sweet. Yeah,
if you have honey, that's naturally sweet, isn't it?
that's naturally sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, that's good. What is Julia saying? She says, don't waste your pucker on some all-day sucker, and don't try a toffee or cream. If you seek perfection in sugar confection, well, there's something new on the scene. Oh, yes, here we go. Toot Sweets. Do you remember that from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Chitty chitty bang bang. Yes.
A mouthful of cheer, a sweet without peer, a musical morsel supreme. Toot sweets, the candles you whistle, the whistles you eat. Toot sweets, the edible, sweetable tweets. Oh, yes, they were the days. Oh, how fun is that? That was the sort of film that I would love to have been in. The original Chitty Bang Bang.
I'd like to have been in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. They don't make them like that. When they did the remake, it was nothing like, was it?
Well, it was a bit spooky, wasn't it? Because he was a bit scary, really.
It is. Yeah, well, he is scary. I can't even think who his name is now. It's too modern for me.
Yeah, I know you mean it. I've got his picture in my brain.
But
the only downside to managing sweet shops is that you obviously have to quality control the sweets to make sure that
obviously
what the consumer is buying is perfectly adequate.
Yes, well, I hope your big boss knows that you're scoffing all the profits.
Well, I was 10 stone when I started, and I'm 16 stone now, so I think I played my part.
Yes, that's true. Well, at least you can, as you say, you can tell reliably these are very tasty morsels of goodness.
Absolutely. I think it's the smell that really does me when I walk into the shop.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? If you walk into, how many shops have got a unique smell? Bakers. You go into a baker's, that's nice. Coffee. In the old days when they used to grind coffee and you'd have that aroma of freshly ground coffee in the marketplace, that was nice. Sweet shops, you smell all that lovely, all those different, for me, one of the nice almonds or marzipan, that, lovely smell. But if you go into a second-hand shop, like a charity shop, you often get mothballs.
It smells musty.
It does smell a bit musty, and then there's just shops that don't have any smell at all, and often they're like the supermarkets, and you
IKEA.
Yeah, IKEA. Whereas if you went into if you go into any sort of woodworking factory or something like that, like I've got a timber yard near me, you go and you smell freshly sawn wood. Oh, that's another lovely smell.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, and a pipe tobacco shop. Oh, yeah. I used to love walking down the street when people used to smoke different types of pipe tobacco, and you'd get those aromatic ones, like the cherry flavoured. You go, oh, that's not. But these smoke things that they have these days, the vapours, they're too strong. They're too artificial.
Well, a lot of people are smoking strawberries and cream, aren't they? Which is not really...
Yeah, it's not what you would naturally expect.
Normally smoke, would you? You'd be 10 woodbines or something. I'm showing my age now, but yeah.
Yes, exactly. Good old woodbines. Johnny Depp, that was the bloke.
That was... Yeah, so going back, Julie Andrews was a friend of the family.
Was she?
Yeah.
And no longer a friend of the family? Is she still with us? Is she still around?
She's still alive. I think her husband, Blake Edwards, is dead now.
Oh, do you know, I only watched the other day, I've got it on DVD, The Return or The Revenge, I can't remember which, of the Pink Panther. Brilliant. Yeah. And those Blake Edwards Pink Panther films, just absolutely hilarious and are still funny today. Peter Sellers was the whole cast was Herbert Lom and all of that. I'd forgotten that he was Julie Andrews' husband.
Yeah.
What a wonderful film pair that they were.
Yeah. And I think it was good, honest entertainment, wasn't it?
Yes. There's nothing underlining about any of that. It's just good as you say, wholesome entertainment. And all those, because Julie Andrews had a brilliant voice.
Yeah, she was lovely. She was
She
lovely.
was lovely. But so you're a friend of the family, but you obviously are not in contact now.
Well, no, it was through my aunt, because my aunt was a bluebell dancer. Do you know what a bluebell dancer is?
Yeah.
And she grew up with Julie Andrews, and she went to stage school with Julie Andrews and the lead singer from the Stranglers.
I know the Stranglers, but I couldn't tell you their
so
names.
they were like kind of friends, and they became friends for life, really.
Wow.
And they all went off and did their different thing, and but they all kept in contact over the years, which was quite amazing, really.
How lovely, and especially when somebody gets so famous as Julie Andrews must have been, to still keep those contacts going.
Absolutely, because it was about the friendship, not about being important. Wasn't it, really?
Absolutely. And as John B says, bring back wholesome entertainment. Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Right, talking of wholesome entertainment, quite why people are watching my nonsense, but we do have some videos from other people which is wholesome and entertaining, so we better go and do some of that. Steve, it's been lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for ringing.
No problem at all. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Look after yourself. And
you. Well
good luck
done.
with
Take care.
Yeah, remind me when you're open nearer the time. And
I'll send you an invite.
Yeah, that would be lovely. And
and Julia as well, obviously.
Oh, bring Julia down and little Joe.
Yeah,
it would be a hoot.
We can do Joe a pick and mix.
Oh, he'll love that. That. Oh, well done. Take care, Steve.
All right, talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go. Lovely Steve Baker there, calling in about just a little bit of promo for his shop, of course. Why not? And it's just encouraging that at least shop owners are, they've got something to hold on to. And that's great for all of us because, you go into a shop and it is a social experience as well, even if it is just saying, I'll have a quarter of bonbons, please. Not the white ones, the strawberry ones, thanks very much. Oh, and whilst I'm here, I'll have some sherbet lemons. And do you have a licorice whirl? That would be lovely. Yeah, and balls. I'll have some aniseed balls, if you don't mind. That would be lovely too. Fantastic. Anyway, there we go. Right, let's have a look. Thanks for all the comments coming in. Hugh Cornwell apparently was the lead singer of the Stranglers. I didn't really like the Stranglers, but there was one tune that they don't sing in that's I thought was really good, but I can never remember what it is. But it was a nice one. And Bonnie says, I'm related allegedly to Joan Collins. Well, how about that? When you say allegedly, that's an interesting thing. And she also says, when will the bookshops be open? I guess they must be open on the same sort of time. I'm itching. That's fleas, that's what it is. No, I'm itching to get into Badger Books and have a rummage around some second-hand bookshops. We certainly move from maybe to definitely maybe. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, let's go back into the surgery and see a little bit of some more videos from the lovely Monsieur Le Norrie, Mr. Andrew Norris, of course, and a bit of Mara singing, another one of the singing songs. Let's nip in there now.
Pod prozorom cvetala milala, došo dragi sa mnom razgovara. Curo mala lepa ti je lala, bili meni koji cvetak dala. Oću dragi kako ne bi dala, za tebe sam lalu njegovala. Za tebe sam lalu njegovala I o tebi pjesmice pjevala.
How lovely. How lovely is that? Isn't that what you'd like somebody to sing as you're picking the tulips and handing them over? Be lovely. It's a sad thing that those traditions just have disappeared, like so many of the traditions. And of course, you know, Mara's an old lady there, the last singer in the village. Thank you, Andrew. Looking forward to the next one. It just reminds you of times of the past and how important it is. Mike Stevens says he's related to Robert Plant, I believe. Nothing to do with your meadow. Is it out the front of your garden? How is your meadow, by the way? Is stuff springing up? That would be interesting to know. Rasputin of Arlington says 4 candles, apricot halves in syrup. They're obviously talking about their favourite dishes. I'm related, says Henri's Adventures, to Jason Donovan. Are you? How exciting. And Richard, you could wear a David Livingstone hat. Oh, yes, I could. I've actually got one of these pith helmets. I have got this. I suppose I could wear this. I don't know why I didn't think of that. There we go, look. When I wear a hat, you see, I look 20 years younger. Don't I? Go on, be fair. I do, really. That's true. Well done, Jeff. That's a great idea. It is unusual and distinctive. Of course, this is not really a genuine. This is just a very light one, made in Vietnam, apparently. Village hats and caps.co.uk. If you're interested. I did buy it because I thought before I did the Bald Explorer, I would do exploring for kids. That was my original thing I was going to do before I thought, no, I will do this for adults. Now you're taking the piss. Yes, there we go. It ain't half hot, mum, and all of that. Right, we're going to have a look at some photos. Now, I don't know if I can do this at the same time. How do I do this? I can't do this at the same time because one has to look at the other thing. We're going to go to Fort Fareham. Colonel Craig Ratty has sent in some pictures of Fort Fareham, and we're going to have a little. I thought it would be a good idea to have a look. I'm just going to read you a little piece about Fort Fareham, and then we'll look at the pictures because I can't do both, you see. So this is on the Wikipedia site, ladies and gentlemen. Fort Fareham is one of the Palmerston forts in Fareham in England. After the Gosport advance line of Fort Brockhurst, Fort Elson, Fort Rona, Fort Grange and Fort Gormer had been approved by the Royal Commission of the Defence Line of the United Kingdom, a decision was made to build an outer line... There we go. We've got a phone call coming in. Hang on a minute.
No.
Hello, hang on a minute. I just can't wear the hat and the headphones at the same time. Hello, caller.
Hello, Richard. This is Rita from the States over in sunny Southern California, where we're about 76 degrees today.
Are you? 76 degrees. Hello, Rita. Nice to hear from you. How the devil are you?
I'm doing just fine. This is thought that I'd give you a call since I hadn't called in a while. So here I am. He says, you've probably heard about Tiger Woods' auto crash.
Oh,
it's about
yes.
6 miles from me.
Heard about it.
6 miles from me.
Is it 6 miles
I
from
know.
it?
Yeah, I've been over that stretch of Hawthorne Boulevard many a time.
And they keep saying that stretch of road is a death trap.
Yes, you can be. It's because it's got a fairly steep grade, and it's curvy right there at that particular intersection, that particular area too.
Right, and I don't know too much about it. I mean, I heard it this morning on the news, and I can't. Was it early? It was late in the evening, was it, when it happened?
It was actually happened around 2:30, 2:45
right,
in the morning.
In the morning, yeah, and. And do we know,
yesterday.
Was he going too fast, or do we know what caused it?
They're not really quite sure yet.
Right.
It was because it's that one thing you do have to watch your downhill speed coming down it, because it does pick up pretty quick, and it says if you don't realize the road can take a quick turn on you, especially if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah. Oh, golly.
And which isn't me, because I grew up driving on that road.
Right, so you're well aware of it. What a terrible thing for somebody. For anybody, obviously. For anybody, it's a terrible thing. But wasn't he had previous accidents, and he was only just getting over all those other problems that he had, and getting back into his stroke, as it were, with the old thing. This is likely to put an end to his career, do you think?
Hopefully it won't, but he says because it's got a lot. It's going to be how well can he stand too,
Yeah.
and did he also injure his back, which sometimes happens after you've had back surgery too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. I mean, I don't know too much about it because I'm not really into sport, and golf is not really one of my things. But of course, you can't help picking up these things on the news. And he had a lot of publicity a while back when he was doing, not quite the right thing. And then, all these back issues and stuff. But we hope he is going to survive. But that's where you are. You're close to that. And it's 27.
Oh, yeah.
27 degrees centigrade. Is that centigrade? Celsius?
It says, this is, let me check to see what that.
Yeah,
what it says.
Are you Fahrenheit or centigrade? Or
Celsius? We're Fahrenheit here.
Yeah. I was looking at the difference between centigrade or Celsius. I don't know why they changed it. And Fahrenheit. And Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Fahrenheit is the boiling point of brine, apparently. Who knew?
212 degrees
Not the
Fahrenheit, the boiling point of water at sea level. It's just 32 degrees Fahrenheit is the freezing point of water.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the freezing point of water in brine for Fahrenheit. Is that right?
No brine, just of water.
Oh, that's centigrade, isn't it?
Well, centigrade is 0 degrees.
Is that not the freezing? I mean, I don't want to have a fisticuff punch up on the live show.
Actually, it's 0 degrees water is the freezing point.
Yes, that's
pure water.
Of pure water,
not brine. Pure water.
Right, but
brine solution, you can take it down even colder.
Yes, but isn't that what's 0 degrees in? Why was 0 degrees Fahrenheit chosen?
Good, because I think it was 0 degrees was chosen by Gabriel Fahrenheit because it was the coldest temperature you could get it to at the time.
Right. Oh, okay.
And that's where he picked 0 from. Little did he know that he got it cold, but that's coldest that he could get it, and that's where he started his scale. And he just graduated up from there. Just so happens that 32 degrees is the freezing point of water. The boiling point of water at sea level is 212 degrees or 100 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. Celsius, I mean, here we are in a world where you've got your currency is in metric, I suppose. It's, dimes and things to 100, and we have now 100. We got rid of our pounds, shillings and pence, which most people I think are probably quite pleased with, unless you were brought up in that era. I'd love to see pounds, shillings and pence and florins and all the various, little funny currencies that we had. But, so much easier, I guess, now to say 0 is freezing and boiling is 100, because then you can work out a scale in between the lot. Whenever anybody says anything to me in Fahrenheit, I think, I don't know what it means.
Yeah, because you're not used to it anymore.
Because we're not used to it.
It's all for. This is, are we trained for Fahrenheit? Are we trained for Celsius? This is it's great. It says, but the idea for Celsius came later.
Yes,
this is actually named for a Swedish physicist. Was where they get the name from.
Do you know why they changed it? Because it was centigrade, which made sense.
It was, yeah. It says the reason that they changed it was to honor the one physicist and named it after him. That's exactly why it was done.
I see. So right, okay. So it's not a new scale or anything. It's the same geezer. It's just they've decided, for all these years we've been calling it centigrade. We ought to name it after the bloke who invented it. Yeah, all right then. That sounds all right. Excellent. Which is nice. Yeah. Whereas over here at the moment, we have a mayor of London who wants to rename many of our London streets with inappropriate names because the older names reflect history, which is very, we're not allowed to have history anymore. We're going to reset everything to zero because, a number of people in the past may have some vague connection to things that people did in those days. Apparently, they didn't have our 21st sensibilities in the 1600s, which is a bit odd. You would have thought.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we're getting over here where they want this is memorials for Civil War heroes and veterans. But of course, the idea that one of the main reasons Civil War was fought was over slavery.
Right.
And it says part of that, it still comes up with the idea on that. So I can see why some of them, especially there's some of them that were definitely worse than others. This is granted. Yes, Robert E. Lee owned slaves. His family had owned slaves, but his wife's family even owned more slaves.
Yes.
Of course, they're even talking about taking George Washington's name off of schools and things like that in some places.
Which is, obviously we can all agree that slavery was an abhorrent thing to do. And we can all agree that, and we can all move forward and say, do you know what? We would never do that again. No one would stand for it, and we all move forward. But to take George Washington's name off schools and things like that is taking a history that, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, that is relevant to your country, just as Churchill is relevant to our country, that people now want to, get rid of that chap. That he wasn't a war hero. He was he was a racist, horrible person. He was a fascist, and it's like, well, whose authority do they have to tell us what history that we want to learn?
That's right. It's just, of course, we also had over here what is called the Lost Cause Doctrine of the Civil War. It says, which basically it says was a South's reinterpretation why they lost the Civil War. But
anyway, I didn't really mean to get onto that conversation because that's for another time. But you're doing well, Rita. You're coping, and with 27 degrees. So 27 degrees. I'll just go back to this thing. 27 degrees Fahrenheit is what is that in centigrade? Is that sort of reasonable temperature now? Is that about
27 degrees Celsius?
Yeah.
It's quicker and easier for me to break out the calculator.
Yeah. So what? You're 27 Celsius? I thought you said Fahrenheit.
It's 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is that's reasonably warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got the sun shining then.
Oh, definitely it's about 24 degrees Celsius.
24. Oh, 24. Blimey. I mean, we managed 13 degrees yesterday. I don't know what it was today. I wasn't in the van, but when I'm in my van, it tells me the temperature, which is very nice. So we had half yesterday. And at one point I was taking off my jacket. I was ready to get down on the beach, in my Speedos. Would have frightened all the seagulls off, of course, and the sea wouldn't have weed anywhere nearby. But it's nice, and I'm hoping that that's the last of the cold, because my fear, whenever we have a warm spell, especially in February, is things like dormice and hedgehogs and mammals that are that are sleeping, that are hibernating, come out, and bats that come out and think, oh, it's spring. And then there's a cold snap and they all get perished.
Yeah, it's sad, but I know that
It happens.
It can happen. It says where I'm at here. It says I'll send you a picture of my apple tree.
Oh, please do. Yes.
I says, yeah. This is right now. It's in quite a pretty state.
Is
it says,
is it in blossom?
is it? Oh yes.
An apple tree. How early do apple trees blossom then? Where you are? I mean, it's February here. We're not going to see blossom on apple trees until, well, April time. I wouldn't have thought.
Or late March. I says,
yeah.
My apple tree will bloom if it gets a cold snap followed by a warm spell.
Right. Oh, okay.
And because that I have small apples on the tree. And so
when do you have small apples on the tree? What, all the way through? You mean when they're ripe or now?
Yes. I mean, they may not be very well developed, not very big, but they're there.
Right. Well, lucky that you've got an apple. I haven't got space for an apple tree, which is a shame. Ruspington of Arlington says, Richard in Speedos, now there's a vision.
Oh, that would be a sight that I think all of us would be. Oh, no!
Yes, exactly. Even I would agree.
Tiny!
I would agree with you there. I would agree with you, absolutely. Cider apples. Are they cider apples because they're small?
No, it's a variety that was actually developed out of Israel.
Oh.
For warmer climates.
Right.
Because it's called an Anna variety. So
is it sweet?
It's sweet. It's a nice tasting apple. They may not get very big, but they're nice tasting.
So Julia's just asked, actually, how do the apples taste? And
they taste really good.
They taste really. So although they're small, you can down 2 or 3 of them in one go. One sitting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. You love your apples, I can tell.
Yeah, it says I bought the thing because it was when I bought the thing as a sapling 30 years. I'm getting almost 30 years ago.
So how big does it grow?
It says you'll when I show you the picture of it, you'll see how tall the tree is.
Well, if you can,
it's about.
Have you got the picture there? Can you email it to me?
Yeah, I will email it to you.
If you email it to me, I'll show it on the show, and as soon as it comes in.
Okay, because you're about ready. The show's about ready. I think you're actually running a little over, but no, it says I'll take a picture of it, and I'll take a close-up picture of one of the apples.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, we'll hang fire for that. Meanwhile, we better play some videos and look at some stuff, Rita. So, do send that in, and it'd be lovely to see.
Okay, it says I'll see about getting your email address. And
it's Richard. It's richard@vobes.com.
Okay, no problem.
Easy to
I might even have it ready for you before you close up.
Fantastic, yeah. Just think richard@vobes.com. Easy.
All righty.
We'll talk to you soon, Rita.
All right, bye now.
Take care, bye-bye. Oh, there we are. That was very nice. Sorry, Pete, that we interrupted your thing. Anyway, that was Fort Fareham, but lovely to talk. We just hope broken these bloody headphones again. Let's chuck them on the ground. So anyway, that was Fort Fareham that I was trying to waffle through. We will show the apples. Thank you, Rita, for calling in. Absolutely fantastic. This is what I love about doing a live show. In the meantime, coming back in to look at where the hell did I put them? Oh, I put them in a folder. That's why I can't find them. I put them in a folder in the Vobes show, didn't I? What did I do with them? No, I didn't put them in a folder. I put them in my download folder. Didn't I put them in a download folder? I had them the other day. I mean, I had them earlier. Where the hell did I put them? You're going to tell me. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. I've got them. They're on Monday's show, ready to go. So I don't really know the order of these, but I'm just going to show the pictures and we'll go through it. So it's a Palmerston, fort. I guess a bit like Shoreham Fort, there's a pathway that leads to it. And here are some of the wonderful brickwork, as you can see. Quite a big fort, a bit like Shoreham Fort, I suppose. Is it? I'm just trying to think where. I mean, it must be facing the sea, presumably. And under these bits, with this where the ammunition and the cannonballs were stored. There's a. It looks very grand, doesn't it? A bit like what's the one in New Haven? New Haven Fort. That'll be the one. Love these old windows. The Georgian windows there with the, there's a voissard, is that a voissard? I can't remember now. And that's got a name, the Oriel window, but I can't remember what it's, a bullseye, I think it's called, bullseye window, if I remember rightly. Some stairs going down and I guess all sorts of ammunitions and where the troops, back in the day would have been. That's it. That's your lot. Thank you very much. It'd be a place to go, wouldn't it, when it's open? Don't know why I'm shouting. Be a place to go when it's open. It says it's used as an industrial. It's used as an industrial estate now, says Colonel Cragratty. There's a woodland walk around the fort. Oh, lovely. But it's an right. So those where the men would have stored stuff, the ammunitions and stuff. It's now their units for industry. Oh, how amazing. I mean, what a shame. It's a shame it's not opened with interpretation boards and all of that. But I guess one can go in. Right, we're going to go and quickly show a video. I'm just having a look to see if any pictures have come through. Not as yet, but don't let that panic you. We are going to go in and what have we got left? We've got... let's go to Bernie, who is going to give us the last of the... I think it's the last, may not be the last, but a bit more, anyway, of Eastbourne.
Yes, they'd replaced this entrance in the 1930s, so with a bit of an Art Deco style entrance, excuse me, but it was never really in keeping with the pier. But there's the entrance, and there it is, all locked up. So I could hear somebody singing just now. If you could see that, there's a lady over there singing, giving us some morning entertainment. Mind you, she's happy. If she's a member of the staff of the Burlington who's just lost their job, that's probably all she can do. See as we walk along how a lot of cracking. But there's a nice view of the stage. Very sad to see it in this state. Ah, yes. There's the foundation stone, at any rate, opened by the Right Honourable Lord Leconfield. 1935. Just going to have pan around here. Eastbourne's once lovely, elegant seafront in a sadly rather shambolic state. Well, here we have the 8th Duke of Devonshire, who is credited with being the father of modern day Eastbourne. Rather a grumpy old Joe when you look at him. Mind you, I'm not surprised with all those seagulls that keep popping on him. Now, I'm going to come around the other side of him, because road down there, Devonshire Place, I'll just turn to have a proper look, was the original approach to the seafront from the station, built by the Dukes of Cavendish.
Very interesting when you look at places where they say just that, as you were saying there, Bernie, that road was the original plan for the main entrance in, and it's all nice and grand, and now it isn't. That's not the way people come in. We had something like that. They were trying to do that in Worthing with Grand Avenue, and they wanted to bring people down Grand Avenue as the main drag in, and build another pier up on sort of towards Goring. It's quite incredible. I'm just keeping an eye on the emails just in case. I might have to refresh this just in case we have a picture, because it would be nice to get the apple before the apple tree of Rita's, which would be good. But lovely to see that. Thank you, Bernie. That sun, that morning sun, those buildings, you know, that seafront. There's a lot of investment. I was thinking as I was watching that Eastbourne. As I've said before, I've played many times in Eastbourne. Witchfinder General. Wonder if he owned any slaves. Well, of course he did. Everybody had slaves. I mean, haven't they? I mean, I mean, obviously I don't have any slaves.
Yes, you do, sir.
No, I don't. Who said that?
Me, sir. I said it.
Shut up, Eric. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry about that. Somebody rang just as we went into that video, and then it rang off when you realised we were playing a video. I'm sorry about that. Lovely video. Thank you very much. Now, we do have one more video, and we're at 22 minutes past. So we might risk doing that. And then hopefully Rita's legged it out into the garden, taken a nice picture of the apple tree and sent the apple to richard@vobes.com. It'd be fascinating if we can get that in before the end of the show. So this is another one of Colonel Craig Ratty's clambering up the mountain. So if anyone's got vertigo, don't worry, he's not got far to go. He's only got to go up. But, you know, the effort of getting up there is quite a big thing. Is Eric Stig of the Dump, says Bonnie. I read Stig of the Dump fairly recently, actually, about 5 years ago. Revisited it. It was a fascinating reread, actually. It was great. So let's go. Are you feeling fit? Go up climbing a mountain? Why don't we try it?
I'm glad I only put one layer on.
Quite serious though. I mean, if
Yeah,
you did have a problem up here, I mean,
yeah, be in a bit of shit, wouldn't it?
you need some form of getting down there.
Well, you wouldn't want to go down there, would you?
Not really, no.
That would be quite horrible.
It's almost only
Yep.
one-way traffic.
After a helicopter lift, you got really scared.
Yeah, most used rescue service in the country, isn't it?
What, here?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Where was John heading off to?
Well, you get a bit nervous. Yeah. At the beginning, it's kind of that hard. You've actually got to get on there. You've got to get on there. Yeah, well, we don't want it to be going that way. We don't need to do this thing as well as something like that. Off the back of it, really. Otherwise, we're going to be going around and walking.
Don't want that, do we? There's anybody else trying to come up the rest of that. The crowds that were down below.
Climbers.
Yeah, obviously quite a lot of climbers, and presumably quite a few just walking as well. That's what we like to do the road.
You come up here for a weekend. You come up here last night.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to do, isn't it?
Straight out there.
Get out there while you can, because if tomorrow's looking a bit damp.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, we're lucky we had yesterday.
Wow. How about that? I was just looking at Mike Stevens' comment there saying, yeah, that looks pretty easy to me. Okay, Mike, and your challenge is... that does look fun, though. I absolutely have to admit, that does look fun. It didn't look as terrifying as some of the other ones that you've done. You know, there seems to be plenty of bits to hold on to. Having said that, I don't think I could do it because I would get scared after I got about 10 foot up. Because I would have that vertigo feeling of heights. So I don't think, but more brave to you. I take my hat off. I take my hat off to you, Pete, Colonel Cragratty. Look, I've done it a second time. How brilliant is that? Harder with a backpack, says Andrew Norris. Yes, I bet, because you'd probably just want to go, whoa, all the time. And we don't want any of that. We don't want any of that, do we? I've never used ropes. And it's fun, says Mike Stevens. Right. We need evidence of that, Mike. I think we need evidence of that. Ed Loud says, I never do that without a rope. My goodness, I'd be pushed to do it with 20 ropes. Exactly. Climbed most of the Lakeland Fells without ropes, says Mike. Now, Mike, I think you're just bragging. I think we want pictures. Come on. We want pictures. Andrew Norris says, what stone is that if not limestone? That's a good question. Very fetching, Richard. Nice hat. Thank you, Stephen Agger. Well done. Right. Okay. So now Rita has sent in the tree. Let's have a look at the tree. And here it is. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in a bit on it. Here's the tree in the back garden. So it's an interesting... And there, I don't know if you can see in the middle, my little mouse going round. There is the apple, or an apple, and it's all in leaf and everything. But look, we can get a close-up of the apple. Wow. It's an interesting shaped apple, isn't it? And what are all these? These are the blossom leaves, I guess, all around. How interesting. Thank you so much, Rita, for sending that in. This is fantastic. I love this immediacy of the show. That's what I really like. You've got a bigger back garden than I have. So presumably this is where you're living. But what an interesting... Oh, look, there is apples. They're nice high ones, aren't they? Look at those. How lovely is that? And all that blossom. It is amazing how the blossom is out and the apples are also there. What a bizarre tree that is. Julia says, my poor neglected Mardi Gras hat's got ignored this year and last. Fancy popping it on your bonce for a moment. Yes, of course, lovely Julia. Maybe I should do many more videos in this hat. I think that's quite the thing. The apple reminds me of those elongated skulls. Yes, that's true. Andrew Norris says, I got that many apples on my tree last year. I mean, it's quite amazing. I just am stunned that there's blossom and still apples. The apples from the previous year. Is Mike Stevens climbing the north face of the high street, says Dave Ivad. Yeah, maybe. And Steve Baker says, village people hat. There we go. Look at that. What do you think? It's like a bus conductor's hat in a way. Great tree, Rita, says Sean Ford. Thank you so much for doing that, Rita. That is absolutely brilliant. Just the hat for Pride next year. Yeah, Mother's Pride. I'll be showing my bread. Captain Vobes of the Starfleet Vobevised. That's lovely, says. Can I take it off now? I feel a right prune. Oh, with the old egg head. Listen, before we go, I know it's 9:30. One more little test on the old history thing. Let's see if anybody can get one of these. I haven't. This is me just. The Beatles reached number one. In what year did the Beatles reach number one? How about that? We've gone. That's. I'll let you into a secret. That's in the 20th century. That's a little bit more easier to do than. And I got one for the canal freaks as well. Mark Burgess has got a guess of 1963, 1964, says Mark Donny McLeod. 1962, says Audrey. Henry's Adventures, 1961. Blimey, you're all over the place, everybody. Well, the true answer is 1962. 1962, and nobody guessed 1962. Oh yes, Audrey said 1962. Well done, well done. And how about this one then? This is a bit more tough without looking up. The Bridgewater Canal. When was that built? That's going back in time. The Bridgewater Canal. I do like these things. Bridgewater Canal. When was that built? And I'm just looking. It's got. This is an interesting book. Oh yeah, no, I've got a. Didn't actually memorize it myself. Sorry. There you are, all answering me. I got lost in there. 1761. Anyone? 17. Mark Burgess was close there. 1761. David, yeah, 1761. Well done, you all looked it up. I don't know. It was a Tuesday afternoon, says Sean Ford. Finally, this is great. This is the Book of Patriotism. It's got some rousing speeches from Winston Churchill. For example, it's got this. We shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and the oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. Ah, isn't that a brilliant... That's... We should remember that. We should bloody remember that. Oh. That was my chair. That wasn't me farting. That was my chair making squeaky noises.
You can't say farting on the air.
I just said it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for everything in tonight's show. It's been a hoot of a show. We've had, thank you for the phone calls. They've been absolutely superb. Very much enjoyed talking to our lovely contributors, Steve Baker and the wonderful Rita. From Orlando, and to all you people out there who've been typing away religiously, which has been great. And thanks to Andrew Norris for the Myra Sings, Sean on his discovery walk, Bernie for his promenade, Colonel Cragratty for Fort Fareham, and of course climbing up the mountain, Mark Burgess for his photos, And thanks to Linda Kane for sending in this incredible book. Thanks to jolly old, what's his name for the hat that came in? Golly, what's his name? And me buying this hat. Oh, why can't I remember? And also to Gus for sending me this wonderful book. That's been very nice. Jeff is the bloke I was trying to think of. Shove that back up there on a light that doesn't actually work. So there we go. Yeah, Jeff, Ramy Boost got it right. Thank you for that. See you all soon. Have a wonderful... Hopefully the lovely Julia will be back on Friday with me and we'll have more hoots and hoots and hoots. And so thank you very much, really, basically. Look after yourselves, take care, and I will see you on. It's all been great fun. And that's it. That's your lot. Until next time, from me and to Judith and the lovely Julia for doing all the moderating. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye.